Alright, welcome to game number 5, the final game. It is currently tied up 2-2 as I adjust the scores to reflect that. You can always see them displayed down here on the Game Heart UI because it's awesome like that. I'm Rifkin, you've been watching Base Trade TV, and you've been dealing with my sick cast. And I don't mean sick like cool, I mean sick like physically ill. So thank you guys for bearing with me for the entire broadcast today. Makes me really happy that you could come hang out and enjoy the EnerJ Cup with me. But without further ado, spotting in the top right corner of the map from the team My Insanity. He's red, he's Stardust, he is Stardust. And you can find him on Twitter at StardustSC2. His opponent in the lower right of this massive map. How massive is it? It's 20 bases massive, guys. It is from Dignitas, the Polish Zerg player known as Tefel. Find him on Twitter at Dignitas Tefel. Okay, so a quick overview of the map for those who, well, you know, everyone should have seen this at this point. Like, you don't see me doing this for Whirlwind because everyone's seen it a million times, but because this map is so often vetoed, even upon entering the lobby, Stardust said, wait, you didn't veto this map? WTF. And a big part of this is you get these free natural bases. There's just no way for Tefel to harass Stardust if you decide to play greedy. There's a small choked ramp here, so all-ins are a little bit more difficult to pull off on this map in particular. And as I said before, there's 20 bases. There's 5 in every corner of the map. So wrap your head around that for a second, guys. Frost is literally a medium map. This is a large map. This is what a large map looks like. Pardon me again. But anyways, Tefel versus Stardust has been a very back and forth series, and I feel like Stardust wants to play for this like macro game, but it's not working very well. Not at least against the aggressive way that Stardust plays. So, I don't know. I kind of think if Stardust wants the money, if he wants the win, he wants the glory. Cheesing it out, doing something a little more off-kilter might be his best bets. But, that being said, maybe he's here for practice. Maybe he wants to see how we can make this Colossus style work versus Roach Hydra. There's a lot of players who sign up for these weekly cups. Big example would be Snoot, example from yesterday. He basically said in the finals, like, I don't care about the money, I'm just here for the practice. So, big shout out to Tefel, by the way, who was also competing in the Go for StarCraft finals yesterday. Like I said, you can find this guy in many of these weekly and monthly sort of cups. He's a badass dude, and he's proven it here versus Stardust so far. And now we got a massive ping for what reason? The awkward pylon? I don't know, I'd really call it hidden. This might just be a 4-gate though, guys. Hang on, we got the chrono boost coming out of this Cyber Core. You know, if there's one way to beat a map that's this large and you're gonna cheese it out, 4-gate's the way to do it. And with no second guess, the reason I'm not thinking it's gonna be 3-gate with blink or anything, of course, he's not gonna have the actual count for it. Now it's really important he doesn't let this get scouted. The stalker leaving the base is nothing that's out of the ordinary, but he needs to keep the link from getting in here. Can he? Yeah, he will.
First blood.
Okay, so Tefel may get up there with the Overlord eventually to try and scout this, but I mean, realistically, with how slow it moves, the gateways may be finished up, and you know, I was thinking 4 gates. We don't see that 4th one coming down yet. Stardust, of course, had to scout around the map and make sure his pylon's in the right spot. So, unfortunately, scouts the right position last. 3 gateways for now. Oh, that Ling didn't see it. No, it saw nothing. This looks really weird for Tefel. All of a sudden, Spinecar's coming down immediately. Not as a response to that, because I think he thought it was like a very delayed proxy or something. Well, this is it's gonna be a bit awkward to say the least. He'll be able to warp on the low ground over here and completely bypass the spine crawlers. Stalker does get stuck between the queen, and that's really unfortunate. Every unit counts when you go for a big powerhouse push like this, and trying to focus on these spine crawlers on the front lines. Tefel perhaps a little bit suited to put those in the back, maybe, I don't know, but until that spine crawler is done, Tefel's gonna have all these links to dance around with. Tries to push him out of the ramp, but again, this sneaky pylon got up, and he can warp in towards the natural if he needs to. Pylon here in the main part will be taken out though by that spine crawler. Unfortunately, it is in range, but Stardust push, you know, I said it was gonna be a 4-gate. It's just a 3-gate, which is really dumb to consider, but this is not nearly as all in. Still definitely dedicating a lot to this attack and cut workers. He's not making probes behind this, guys. He is trying to get damage done, and that's the goal of this attack. Whether it's to be game ending or not, we'll have to wait for a couple more warp-ins. Pretty much if we get to the 7-minute mark and there's no probes being made, this is about as all in as it's going to get. Spine car completes, but oh, transfuses will be able to go down on it. One more volley certainly would have finished that off. Meanwhile, Zealot's being stocked up over here. Pylon, I didn't even see that pylon go down, but it is going to be taken out. Stardust has got to cause some economical damage or he is simply out of this, guys, is what it's going to boil down to. Trying so desperately not to fight around those spine crawlers. With so many zealots here, Zerglings do not want to engage while their backs are against the wall. Tefel's not building any more drones behind this, but that's okay, because he's got so many lings already available and more on the way. Takes out another spine crawler, retains his stalkers, and the zealots actually look like they're going to get cleaned up. More being warped in, but he's got to get the stalkers involved with this fight. Queen does finally fall down, but there's no more melee units to buffer for these lings. Two zealots simply won't cut it. The stalkers know they need to get involved with the fight. So many Zerglings, guys. This is looking to be about it. This is the only pylon reinforced from at this point. Oh, actually, this one didn't go down. I thought he had focused it. Sorry, my bad while that was going on, but not looking good. Both players in a very micro-intense situation, to say the least. Zerglings get the surround on the stalkers at the ramp, though, and this could be it. This could be game right here, guys. Zealots aren't even trying to get involved. So many Zerglings running across the map for a counterattack. Force fields could technically keep them out of the base. I don't know if Stardust can hold this, though. This is such a big counterattack. They don't have anything to really stop them. Speed's finished up. Force field goes down immediately. Wants to make sure he doesn't miss it. We want to pylon in the main of Tefel. Finally gets taken out. 25 workers to 20. Stardust has certainly normalized a little bit about this, but you know, he's relying on 3 sentries to keep this game together. He's going to have to put a full wall down. He doesn't have the force field energy to keep these Zerglings back. Technically, and I know this is so dumb, but technically, Tefel could throw infinite links at this wall and eventually break it down. But that's the key word there, isn't it? Eventually. Stardust buying himself a lot of time to get back in this game. A new force field comes out, cancels the pylons because, of course, most of the links were pulled back, and the ones that did get in were actually not a threat. Maintains the mineral count to now warp in 2 additional zealots and can push out a little bit now. Leave it to Stardust to make this happen, make this work. But okay, we'll see how the follow-up to this goes. This push is going to be weird, to say the least. These sentries, of course, already exhausted a lot of energy on that wall. Fully aware that there might be a full counterattack. Stardust is a little bit hesitant to fully push out on the map. If he can get a force field on the bottom of this ramp, if he traps these Zerglings in, that's going to be huge. And he does precisely that. So Zealots now into the arena they go. And Tefel's going to lose even half of his lings available on the map. But still not making too many more probes behind this. Stardust has still managed to recover somewhat behind this, guys. I was really expecting him to let that full wall of a fortification, take a Nexus, and maybe try and take this to the macro game, but I think he recognized, like, I did not kill nearly enough workers to make this worthwhile. Yes, he's killed a lot of lings. In fact, let's see just how many have died. 81 lings. Well, some more are going to go die here in the middle of the map. Try and run past everything here. We got the move into the main base once again. Stardust, if he finds that he can't get damage done in the main because of the roaches, he can force field off this ramp and take the third. That might be a start. In fact, that might be the best thing he can do right now because roaches are coming out in plenty, and I don't think he's going to get to that ramp in time. Force field does go down and secure him 3 roach kills. There is a spine crawler here to deal with, but it's really not that big of a problem with how much damage he has available to him. Roach is trying to funnel out here. Another force will go down on that ramp in about 10 seconds, so not an issue whatsoever. This third base should go down. So I almost got too close to that force field. A little bit of panic mode coming out of Stardust, but you know, some stalkers with their range, some sentries. They don't have the highest DPS in the world, but it's very streamlined, very good. We'll see if Tefel can hold this. Going to certainly lose this third. Again, another force field needs to go down, but the amount of units available for Tefel are just insignificant in comparison to the force field count that Stardust has racked up here. With the third base going down, it's going to cut into production a lot more than it will economy. More stalkers being warped in. A fight at the ramp is going to be the best case scenario for Stardust. If he can lock the roaches into the top and into the bottom with 2 force fields at the same time, precisely like he just tried to do. A little bit awkward still nonetheless, but what he needed to get done. Going to keep cutting these out, and looks like Stardust, with that failed first attack, brought it back for round number 2. He's killing the roaches. The third base has gone down, and Tefel doesn't have any spine crawlers in the main. He doesn't have any Hydralisks on the way. He's relying on roaches that are just stuck against the force field for the duration of this game. Another force field goes down, securing 5 more roach kills. A couple links even stuck behind the roaches. Frustrated, to say the least, he must be. Good game is called, and Stardust will take the victory.